Clayton, what is the best 1.8 turbo engine built?
Friends!
No. Hi guys!
Hi guys!
Clayton, we came up with an idea for a video. What do we call this? What is the, we just wrote it down. We can't even figure it. We came up with an idea and we can't even think of what it was going to be.
Did you send it to me?
No, I didn't.
Well,
what is the proper 1AT build? That's basically what this video is about. The reason we wanted to talk about this is I get questions literally from all over the world on a weekly basis, whether it's through Instagram, Facebook, phone calls, emails, whatever, about what guys should be building. And this is kind of a perfect example. You can go very extreme with a 1AT build and you can do very basic. The big difference is what the engine is going to be used for. If it's a track car, Clayton, you jump in at any time, by the way, too, because I'm going to go on a tangent here.
Go for it.
Be it a track car, street car, if it's a drift car, a drag racing application.
Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive.
Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, huge differences there. If this is just a hoopty kind of project and you don't care, or
link to the hoopty up top.
Yeah, well, that's an exception, that thing. Or is it something that you are passionate about and you've maybe had an engine failure in the past? All of those things kind of contribute toward what you should build. So we're going to start off. Clayton's going to show some beautiful B-roll of this complete 1AT engine build that we did. And we're going to start off kind of on like a different tier level of what you should be getting into based on your horsepower goals. So obviously over the, I don't know, decade and a half that I've been building 1.8 turbo engines.
You're old.
I know. The engine's old, man. This thing is archaic. We've done tons of applications. We've seen the failures. We've seen plenty of things. It's all over the internet. We're not doing anything that's not been done in the past.
We've also seen some of them exceed our expectations, which is crazy.
Yes, like the hoopty, like we said earlier. However, the big reason I wanted to have this conversation is that there are plenty of folks that look at the internet and look what guys are doing online and going far above what they really need to do for an engine setup. I'm not saying that that's what this is, but there are plenty of builds I've done over the years to build 500-600 horsepower engine setups, and then we finish them, they go out and they're at 300 horsepower, and then they live their whole life at 300 horsepower. And the reason I wanted to have this conversation is because you could have, a lot of those guys could have saved themselves a lot of money building a setup for what they were going to be happy with on the street. Now, as all the new cars get more and more horsepower, guys in the 1ATs want to try to keep up and compete with those cars. However, make sure you're building for the setup that you want to. If you plan on going further, then make sure you build for that as well. But don't go blowing a whole bunch of money on parts that potentially are never going to be needed.
And never enjoy your car.
Because maybe you never finish it. When really, you could have potentially used a completely stock engine, made 300 wheel horsepower, and it lived a long life, and you enjoyed it, and it didn't cost you a bunch of money. But with that said, there's a few things we want to get into, and kind of tiers of like what you kind of should be doing for each sort of power level. Clayton, the 1AT. This thing, as you guys would have seen in our previous, the hoopty, and we made 600 wheel horsepower in a completely stock 1AT long block. Obviously, we put our own turbo kit together, we put good fuel in it, and standalone and all that stuff, but It shows that the capabilities are there. Would I recommend anybody to build that sort of setup for themselves? Heck no. It's going to fail. It's just a matter of time. We just lucked in on the setup that we did. So with that said, what's kind of needed for each tier? For 300 wheel horsepower, these engines will take that power pretty easily, honestly. 300 to 350 wheel horsepower, depending on the fuel. The one exception I will say is the exhaust valves.
And the spaghetti rods.
Well, at that power level, the spaghetti rods are still kind of okay. On a KO4 though, big torque spike, KO4s ruin a lot of these engines. But typical bigger turbo setup, not KO4, bigger than that. I look directly into the eyes of the people watching. They'll handle around that 300, 350 horsepower for a very long time. The one exception that we've always talked about is the exhaust valves. They can just tap out whenever they feel like it. It doesn't matter the horsepower. The exhaust valves are junk. Perfect example, Clayton's Mark 1. I'll link it above.
And maybe I'll put in a little clip. Sounds broke.
Sounds like it's down a hole, I would say.
Okay.
We lost a plug or something.
All right. Not a big
Because
deal.
it was fine the whole time, and then just on the very end of the last stretch, end of the back stretch, I felt it a little bit weird. And then as I was coming, I wasn't 100%, and then I was coming around the turn, I was like, yeah, she's down. That thing ran for a couple of years, aggressively abused.
Very.
At around 300 to 330 wheel. I don't remember what we did way back then.
Between 280 and 330, I'd say. Depending.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, we didn't run it always at the 300 plus
No,
horsepower.
but we did from time to
make
time.
that, right. The point is, that thing just decided to drop a valve one day.
And let's face it, I didn't, like, there's
Maintenance
no
it
warm.
very good?
There wasn't really, like, warming that car up. It's
Nah,
like, get to
this
the
is
track,
abuse.
rush, abuse it, put it away.
But the point is that that was a setup that was around the 300 horsepower range, and it decided to drop a valve. And the exhaust valves are junk, so be prepared. If you're planning on building it, the one thing I can recommend more than anything else, really, depending on your horsepower goals, do exhaust valves. It'll be much happier. Now, with that said, the next level up. If you do a set of connecting rods in this, and you do a set of exhaust valves, we have made 500 wheel horsepower plenty of times with that configuration. Now there's, obviously it comes down to what size turbo we're gonna do and all that sort of thing on those power levels. And speaking of turbos, Clay and I chatted about this, we are working on a, what's the right turbo video. So that's coming, it's just not gonna be discussed in this specific video. So, connecting rods, exhaust valves, are the key ticket to making the 400 to 450 wheel horsepower pretty reliably, honestly. However, it gets into that slippery slope of while you're in there. I think that's what Charles says, while I'm in here, something like that. While I'm in there. I would really recommend doing valve springs since you're gonna have the head apart. Valve springs are gonna easily give you another 1,000 RPM. And then the sky's kind of the limit. Once you get to the 5 to 700 horsepower range, a lot more stuff needs to be changed, in regards to ARP bolts. There's so many things that come into factor. You got to consider the clutches and all that sort of stuff.
List them off.
Man, it's endless.
You got like mains, you got...
Yeah, ARP main bolts, ARP crank bolt, ARP head studs or head bolts, ARP flywheel bolts. There's literally so many
1,000 different options for rods, aluminum rods.
Exactly.
Rifle drilled.
H-beam versus I-beams.
Yeah.
There's so many options, but a typical H-beam rod setup and a set of a set of exhaust valves will go a pretty far way. Now, I'm gonna pause because I need to breathe. The next thing I think I talked about was getting into the, maybe the 600, 700 horsepower range. I'm going to tell you guys, for the guys that haven't been in any quicker cars or higher horsepower cars, the amount of phone calls I get with people thinking that they're going to make a 700 wheel horsepower 1AT and it's going to be a monster on the street. It's going to be a dog on the street, honestly. To make that kind of power out of a 1.8 liter, you require a very large turbo, and typically they're not going to be fun on the street. As a race car where it's sitting on the rev limiter all the time.
You mean street as in like
literally
light
street.
to light.
Yeah,
not like highway.
I'm going to
goals.
drive this to work and have fun like getting on the highway. No, you're probably not, because it's going to be super laggy and not enjoyable. So build for the application, build for what you're doing with it. I mentioned one thing about it being a 1.8 liter. There's obviously the ability to do a stroker, and actually this is a full stroker setup. We did 2 liter crank. This is kind of almost the full meal deal, this engine setup.
Can you say stroker again?
No, it's weird when you ask me. This one has, just to name it, a few things off, this one is a stroker setup. We did CP pistons, we did IE rods, I did a IE intake cam on it, we did exhaust valves, we did upgraded valve springs, I just spit.
You say cam? Did you say cam? I wasn't paying
Intake,
attention.
yeah, intake IE cam. Manual tensioner, timing belt setup, fluid damper, ARP mains, ARP head bolts in this one. He already had those. We did everything basically to this setup. It's also it's a stroker, but it's also bored out to 2 liter or 80, 2.5 mil. So anyways, build to your application. If you're trying to make 700 horsepower in a 1AT and it's a street car and that's all you're ever planning on doing with it, bring down your goal a little bit and build the thing to be a lot more fun on the street.
Yeah, and spend a little bit of money on like suspension and tires
Exactly,
and stuff that
exactly.
will enhance this.
Or how about this? Go drive something that makes 400 horsepower on the street and see actually what 400 horsepower feels like. Everybody's trying to compete with the new stuff, everything makes more power. Actually, speaking of the new stuff, Clayton, we have this one lined up. This is a Gen 3 TSI engine. Obviously, it's getting I-beam rods, JE pistons. It's getting the full treatment also, new crank, the full mamma jamma. The new Gen 3 stuff is a force to be reckoned with. Build towards your application. Clayton, am I forgetting anything? I'm rambling. I feel like I've been talking way too much.
I don't know, man. There's probably going to be lots of questions. Feel free to ask them. If we have to do another video step or part 2 of this, so be it. But at least this will get the basis down of all the questions that
I get on a regular
generally.
basis. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, like Clayton said, ask them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. There's my drag car. It made over horsepower. We're not done with it.